Welcome to another fascinating episode of PsychWSigmund. This concept has been a cornerstone of psychological research for decades, offering profound insights into human behavior, social dynamics, and the power of situational factors in shaping our actions. So, what is the Stanford Prison Experiment? In simple terms, it was a groundbreaking study conducted in 1971 by Professor Philip Zimbardo at Stanford University. The experiment involved recruiting 24 male college students who were randomly assigned to play either the role of prisoners or guards in a simulated prison environment. The prison was set up in the basement of the psychology building, and the participants were told they would be part of a 2-week study. However, what transpired over the next few days was nothing short of astonishing. As the experiment progressed, the students who played the role of guards began to exhibit sadistic tendencies, enforcing arbitrary rules and punishing the prisoners for minor infractions. Meanwhile, the prisoners became increasingly submissive and depressed, experiencing mental breakdowns and extreme emotional distress. The study was intended to last for 2 weeks, but it was terminated after just 6 days due to the extreme behavior of the participants. The theoretical background of the Stanford Prison Experiment is rooted in social psychology, particularly in the concept of situationalism. This theory suggests that our behavior is shaped by the situation we find ourselves in, rather than by our inherent personality traits or dispositions. In other words, the experiment showed that normal, well-adjusted individuals can become perpetrators of abuse when placed in a situation that fosters such behavior. One of the key psychological theories that explains the Stanford Prison Experiment is the concept of role-playing. When we adopt a particular role, we tend to internalize its associated norms and expectations, which can lead us to behave in ways that are inconsistent with our normal values and principles. In this case, the students who played the role of guards began to identify themselves as authority figures, which led them to exert their power over the prisoners. Another important concept that emerges from the Stanford Prison Experiment is the idea of de-individuation. This refers to the process by which individuals lose their sense of identity and personal responsibility when they are part of a group or in a situation where they feel anonymous. In the experiment, the guards wore uniforms and sunglasses, which contributed to their de-individuation and reduced their sense of accountability for their actions. Research findings from the Stanford Prison Experiment have been supported by numerous subsequent studies, including the famous Milgram obedience study. This study showed that ordinary people can be persuaded to administer electric shocks to others when instructed to do so by an authority figure, even if it goes against their moral principles. These findings highlight the power of situational factors in shaping our behavior and the importance of considering the context in which we make decisions. So, how can understanding the Stanford Prison Experiment help us in our everyday lives? For one, it highlights the importance of being aware of the situations we find ourselves in and the potential for abuse or exploitation. By recognizing the power dynamics at play in a given situation, we can take steps to prevent abuses of authority and promote a culture of empathy and respect. For instance, imagine you're part of a team at work where one person is dominating the conversation and dictating the direction of the project. Recognizing the situational factors at play, such as the dominance of one individual or the lack of clear roles, can help you navigate this situation more effectively. You might suggest establishing clearer communication channels or rotating leadership roles to prevent any one person from abusing their power. Additionally, the Stanford Prison Experiment has implications for our understanding of therapeutic approaches and interventions. For example, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, is a type of psychotherapy that focuses on identifying and changing negative thought patterns and behaviors. By recognizing the situational factors that contribute to these patterns, therapists can help clients develop more adaptive coping strategies and improve their mental health outcomes. In conclusion, the Stanford Prison Experiment offers a powerful reminder of the complex interplay between situational and dispositional factors in shaping human behavior. By acknowledging and understanding these dynamics, we can strive to create environments that foster empathy, cooperation, and mutual respect. The Stanford Prison Experiment also raises important questions about personal responsibility and accountability. By acknowledging the power of situational factors, we can take steps to prevent abuses of authority and promote a culture of empathy and respect. As my colleague, Philip Zimbardo, once said, "The line between good and evil is permeable, and it's often situationally determined." This quote highlights the importance of considering the context in which we make decisions and the potential for ordinary people to engage in extraordinary behaviors when placed in certain situations. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, may your ego find balance between pleasure and reality.